I'll just scream anyway.
Now, there are some formal hearings scheduled. And the story from Marianne is that the officer is here.
Mr. Trahey is here. His client, I don't see him. I tried to get some of the people that don't have names, but they weren't responding. Do you want me to bring Mr. Trahey in? It was at 10:50.
Would you please? And then we have, I see somebody who I thought we finished with already. Mr. Trahey's client is Michael Williams.
Correct.
Good morning, Mr. Trahey.
Good morning. I, for whatever reason, just lost my video.
This is
Initially, congratulations on your election. Very happy for you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Marianne,
Yes, ma'am?
I thought you were starting to say something.
No?
Okay. This is 20HR12811A and B. Huron Township versus Michael S. Williams. Your appearances, please.
Kevin Foley on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Stephen Trahey, attorney for defendant.
Mr. Trahey, this matter was scheduled for arraignment pretrial as to the violation of restricted license. There is a civil infraction tagging along with it, speeding 11 to 15 over the limit. There's an offer from Mr. Foley that if your client pleads to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, the other two matters would be dismissed. I was looking for your client to join us. How do you wish to proceed this morning?
Judge, we waive any formal reading and signing. If I could have a moment to speak with Mr. Foley in a breakout room, I would appreciate that.
Marianne will facilitate that. Thank you, sir.
Judge, we're ready on Mr. Howard. He's going to plead.
Recalling 20 SU 00496. Sumter Township versus Eric William Howard.
Thank you, Your Honor. Daniel Batar on behalf of Mr. Howard. If he hasn't been arraigned, we'll waive a formal reading. Stand mute, please.
Thank you. As to the sole count of driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied, there was an offer from the prosecutor that if your client pled guilty to driving while license suspended, there would be a recommendation for no jail time. How do you wish to proceed in this matter, Mr. Batar?
Your Honor, he's going to enter a plea to that offer.
Mr. Howard, you heard the comments made by your attorney this morning.
Sorry, it broke up.
I said you heard the comments made by Mr. Batar this morning,
Yes, ma'am.
and you wish to accept the offer of the people.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand if you enter a plea of guilty this morning, there won't be any trial in this matter. You won't have the opportunity to call witnesses or question witnesses put forth by the people.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you entering this plea freely and voluntarily? Nobody's promised you anything, threatened you in any way to get you to plead guilty?
That's correct, ma'am.
Is it true that on December 5th, 2020 in Sumter Township, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied?
Yes, ma'am.
The court will accept your plea of driving while license suspended. Satisfied, Mr. Young?
Satisfied, Your Honor. Thank you.
Satisfied, Mr. Batar?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Howard, the court will assess a fine of $200 as crime victims fee of $75, court state cost of $50, and fund fee of $20 for a total of $345. Are you able to pay that within the next 7 days, or do you need longer to pay?
I can pay it within the next 7 days.
You can either go online and pay 34th District Court, or you can bring the payment to the court or mail it in. Anything
Amy-
else? Ask
Oops, you said that was 320?
345, sir. Mr. Howard, you have some other outstanding matters with the court that total $790. There's some marine safety, impeding traffic, and some speeding. Those matters total $790. So when you pay the $345, you should be prepared to at least make arrangements in these other matters.
Okay, you said there was 3?
There's 2 on one ticket. There's a marine safety and a speeding on one ticket, and then there's an impeding traffic, which was its own separate ticket.
Okay.
Okay?
Are those something that I can pay when I come up there?
You can make arrangements with our collections department, sir.
Do I need to call first?
You should, just to verify the balances, and you might be able to talk to him about a payment plan over the phone and then pay this matter separately if that's what you wish to do, or they can combine your payment plans.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Anything else?
No, ma'am.
Have a good day, Mr. Howard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else waiting for me, Marianne? I don't see anything on the docket after 11 for me.
There is, there's a woman who just signed in. Her name is Williams. It's a Sumter case. I can pull her in, Judge, if that's okay, to see if that's who it is.
That's fine. Thank you.
Yep.
Mr. Bitar, there's a driving while license suspended from 10/20 that we could not connect with before.
Okay.
See hanging out here.
Okay. Mike, hold on.
You want me to try to bring him in?
I just,
You just did, okay.
I just did, but we're gonna,
Is that Martez Brano?
yes. Mr. Brano? Martez Brano? Martez Kenneth Brano. Mr. Bitar, if you would just sit tight for one. I'm not sure what's going on with the audio. Like I said, this is a driving while license suspended and speeding. So if they come on the screen, we'll proceed. Other than that, Mr. Trahey. Are you in another hearing or are you ready to proceed, Mr. Trahey?
I am ready to proceed.
Okay. You had an opportunity to speak to recalling Huron Township versus Michael Williams, 20 HR 12811 A and B. You had an opportunity to speak to Mr. Foley?
I have, Your Honor. Your Honor, it's my understanding that we are agreeable to amending the original charge to an added count of double parking in exchange for a dismissal of the original counts. It's my understanding that the defendant will pay fines and costs in the amount of $400.
That's not what I have in my file. Mr. Foley, is that your understanding?
That is correct, Your Honor. Mr. Trahey did twist my arm in the breakout room, and that is the offer.
Mr. Trahey, does your client need time to pay this amount?
Yes, Your Honor, we would ask for a 30-day period of time to pay the amount.
Defendant to pay $400 within 30 days. Anything else, Mr. Trahey?
Nothing for the defendant, no.
Anything else in this matter, Mr. Foley?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
$100 within 30 days for double parking. Thank you for your patience this morning.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Brown. Sir, with the hat on? You can't hear? Your audio isn't working, sir. Mr. Brown? I'm gonna need you to go out and try to come back in and see if you can get your audio going. You can't hear, do you need an interpreter? Okay. You can't connect your audio. I'm gonna have Mr. Brown go out and try to rejoin the Zoom. Mr. Bitar, if you could just sit tight for a second. We'll see if there's anything else ready to go. I'm gonna launch into the formal hearings. Mary Ann, if there's no one else unaccounted for.
There's an attorney Levitt that's here. It was a 1050 for TKMS.
This is 20HR 08262 Huron Township versus TKMS.
Good morning, Your Honor. Michael Levitt, I appear on behalf of TKMS Incorporated.
Your Honor, Kevin Foley on behalf of the people.
Thank you. Mr. Levitt, your client was scheduled this morning for arraignment pretrial. The allegation is that on August 22nd, 2020, Huron Township, your client spilled load on highway. As to the arraignment in this matter?
My client wishes to tender a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
There is an offer from Mr. Foley that if your client pleads guilty to double parking and pays a fine and cost of $325, that the spilling load on highway would be dismissed. Do you wish to avail yourself of the people's offer?
Yes, Your Honor, I do. I do have full authority on behalf of my client, which is a valid Michigan corporation, to enter this plea of responsibility to the amended charge. Thank you, Mr. Foley.
You're welcome, Mr. Levitt.
Mr. Levitt, does your client need time to pay the double parking $325?
To be safe, Judge, could we have 2 weeks if that's possible?
Defendant to pay within 14 days. Anything
Thank you.
else, Mr. Foley, as relates to this matter?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Levitt?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you for your patience this morning. Have a
Sure.
good day.
You too.
Thank you. Dan, we're gonna try this one more time. I see other people out here. Mr. Brano, You still can't connect? Can you hear me? No, you can't hear me, but you shake your head to that. For some reason, the defendant cannot connect in this matter. This is 20SU00461 A and B. There's a civil infraction of speeding 6 to 10 over limit. There's a misdemeanor driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied. Can you hear me, sir? Inasmuch as the defendant appears to have some technology issue, the matter is going to be adjourned. The matter is going to be adjourned to the next Sumter date, which is April the 8th. 2021 at 9:20 a.m. The court will send notice to the defendant. I would advise him to make every effort to figure out how to connect between now and then. Mr. Young, is there anything you'd like to add in this matter? Ooh, don't make me, I'm gonna come around there.
No, Your Honor, thank you. I do see a Miss Williams in the waiting room. That one might be fairly quick.
Ms. Williams is in here. Wait, hold on one second. Uh-oh. Okay, sir, I'm glad you can hear us, but we can't hear you. So your matter's being adjourned. I received a chat from the defendant that he can hear everyone, but sir, we can't hear you. So your matter is being adjourned. To the April 8th, 2021 at 9:20 a.m. with Judge Tina Green. As I indicated, there is a civil infraction and there's a misdemeanor. Court will mail out new notices. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Young?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Brown, our last chance, can you still not hear us? Can you still not connect your audio, I should say? We'll see you back here on April the 8th at 9:20 a.m. Thank you, sir. Mary Ann, is there anyone else in the waiting room other than the formal hearings?
No, there are a few that are unnamed, but I brought them in a few times and they didn't respond.
Leave them there for now. I'll call who I can call. I saw Dearborn Steel here.
Yes, they're ready. And Dearborn Steel is here, and so is the officer for your formal.
This is 20HR11753 Huron Township versus Dearborn Steel Express. Your appearances, please.
Your Honor, Kevin Foley for the people.
Mr. Young.
Your Honor, I believe the file contains a offer, and normally I write these down. I have some recollection, but
I hear someone talking. For Dearborn Steel Express.
I'm here. Yes. Yeah, Jan Richter.
Mr. Richter,
Yes.
your relationship to this file?
My wife is the owner of the company. I'm the CEO.
Have you had an opportunity to speak with the prosecutor in this matter, the attorney for
not.
the township? Would you like to speak to Mr. Foley?
I would think so.
Mr. Foley, is it okay to put you in a breakout room?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Are we in the breakout room?
Not yet. You'll see it,
Wait.
you'll see a box pop up to say join the breakout room.
Oh, I see it here. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Batar,
Yes, Judge.
I still have 20 files and I don't have people.
Sounds
So-
like a lot of people didn't show up, Judge.
Does Mary Ann have a way to get a hold of you if we need you to come back?
I'm sure someone there has my phone number.
Somebody there does.
I can give it to her right now.
If you would, please.
If I'm ready.
313
Yep.
231 1934.
Okay, Dan.
Thank you.
If I see you later, I see you later. If not, I'll see you next time. Everyone take care.
Take care, sir.
Your Honor,
Yes,
I see a Miss Williams up there. I don't know if that's the same one I have, Tanya Williams.
I see her, but I'm not. Miss Williams? Oh, it is your Miss Williams, the dangerous dog.
Yes.
Miss Williams? She's in our waiting room and she's in the main.
Good.
Miss Williams? Your audio is not connecting. And you have two devices. Miss Williams,
Yes,
is your video working?
can hear you.
Thank
Can hear
you.
me?
I can see you and I can hear you now.
Okay, sorry, I was on the phone on one and the computer on the other. I couldn't hear you.
This is 20SU00447 A and B. Miss Williams, would you state your name for the record, please? Young, we were so close.
I lost you.
No, you didn't lose me. You lost your video for a second there.
Okay,
Can you state your name for the record, please?
Sandra Williams.
Ms. Williams, today is a day and time set for a arraignment pretrial. It's alleged that on October 22nd, 2020 in Sumter Township, you had both a dog at large, which is a misdemeanor, and a dangerous dog. As for the arraignment, typically what we would do is take your plea of guilty, not guilty, or have you stand mute. If you wanted to, we could have a court-appointed attorney available to you. I would indicate to you that there is an offer from the attorney for Sumter that if you pled guilty to harboring a dangerous animal and providing Sumter Township with a plan to prevent that they will move to dismiss the dog at large. Would you like to speak to a court-appointed attorney this morning, or would you like to proceed on your own?
I'm sorry, Judge. It blanked out. I can see the lips moving, but I couldn't hear you.
Ms. Williams, what I'm going to do is have you log out on both devices and come back in on just one, okay? And as soon as you come back in, there's one matter ahead of you.
Yes.
Finish that matter. I'll recall the case. I'll keep it right here. I see the prosecutor is still here for Sumter, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Recalling Dearborn Steel 20 HR 11753.
Your Honor, would it be possible for Mary Ann to put myself, the officer, and the gentleman into a breakout room very
Yes,
quickly?
sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Ms. Williams? Feedback, or is that the original device?
I'm on my computer.
So, Ms. Williams,
I can hear you.
you can hear me?
Yes,
You have video on your computer?
yes.
Okay, can you turn your video on, please? Would you please?
Okay, I can't see you on this, but I see me.
Where we were before we had our connection issue, I was asking, would you like to speak to an attorney in this matter? Or would you like to proceed on your own?
No, I'd like to speak to an attorney.
I know. Could you call Dan for me, please?
I'm
Ma'am, I'm
sorry.
gonna have you, no worries. I'm gonna have you sit tight. We're gonna call the attorney back. He'll talk to you briefly. We'll make him aware of the plea of the offer from the people.
Okay.
He's gonna sign back on.
I heard you. Thank you so very much. I'm not sure what a plan looks like. Or Mr. Young has some ideas.
Ryder, the reason for somewhat of a tougher stand on this one is one of our police officers was actually bitten by this dog. It was 4 dogs, and I could petition the court to have the dog destroyed, but I didn't necessarily want to do that. I have done that from time to time. But if she can present a plan that shows that she's going to prevent these dogs from getting out, that's the concern. And
Yes.
That's the problem that I have.
So Mr. Bitar just rejoined us. Thank you, sir. Mr. Bitar, there's 2 misdemeanors in this matter. One is a dangerous dog, and the other one's a dog at large. Mr. Young was just indicated, well, there's an offer from the people that if Ms. Williams pleads guilty to harboring a dangerous animal and provides the township with a plan to prevent this from reoccurring, the dog at large would be dismissed. Mr. Young was indicating that there was an officer who was bitten during this occurrence back on October 22nd, 2020. I'm not sure if you're able to give Ms. Williams some guidance and support in resolving these matters.
Sure. If I could just ask Mr. Young, though, what exactly are you looking for with respect to a plan? Training or something like that?
Well, I need some proposal where she's taking the steps to ensure that these dogs will not get out again. I don't know how they're getting out. I don't know if there needs to be repairs in the fence, in the latch, or what, but some assurance that they're not out at large again. When they tried to respond, one of the police officers was bitten in the shin.
Okay, I'll talk to Miss Williams in the breakout room.
Thank you.
Other than that, Judge, do we have anybody else in waiting? I've got about 5 files here. Maybe these are no-shows. I'm not sure.
There are a couple of people in the waiting room.
Okay.
If we can check and see who they are.
I'll pull them.
I'm pulling in this Galaxy to see who this is. Galaxy J2?
Hello,
Yes, your name, please.
I'm sorry, this is Tanya Williams.
No, ma'am.
Miss Williams, you need to click on where it says join breakout room. You need to click on that. Your attorney's waiting for you in there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Ma'am with the fluorescent light overhead, your name, please. Oh, sir, my apologies. That's okay. We call that Thursday.
We got kicked out of there, Judge.
She'll move you back.
Thank you.
The 2 people on the Galaxy J2. Ma'am, your name, please, as you're connecting to audio. Ma'am on the iPhone. Your name.
Shonda Rodriguez.
Miss Rodriguez.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, but wait 1 moment, please.
Okay, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
This is this is 181463 194911 and 20 HR 12887 A and B. Oh, no, we can't do it that way. Miss, hold on, I'm sorry. Those are not the right cases, Marianne. Let's try this again. 194911. That's a little better. Huron Township versus Shonda Rodriguez.
Yes.
Miss Rodriguez. This case is a driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied from November 23rd, 2019. You had previously been arraigned in this matter, scheduled for pretrial. And then we lost track of you for some reason. In the interim, there was new offense of 20 HR 12887 A and B. The A file is another driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied. That's a misdemeanor. On that same date in Huron Township, you were driving with no insurance. As the 2020 file are both scheduled for arraignment. The 2020 file is scheduled for arraignment and that with the accompanying civil infraction. There is a offer from the prosecutor that if you plead guilty to the driving while license suspended from December 8th of 2020. That Huron Township would dismiss the 2019 driving while license suspended and the 2020 no insurance. Would you like to avail yourself of the people's offer, or would you like to speak to an attorney in this matter?
So if I plead guilty on the one, then they knock the other two out?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's fine.
That's fine.
Is
You'd
it
like to avail
point?
yourself?
Is it points on my license?
I don't know points, ma'am. That's between
Oh,
you and the
okay.
Secretary of State.
Sorry.
Ms. Rodriguez, you understand that if I accept your plea of guilty to the 2020 driving while license suspended, you won't have a trial of any kind in this matter?
Yes.
You won't have the opportunity to call witnesses on your behalf or question witnesses put forth by the people?
Yes.
Have you been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty in this matter?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yeah, I guess so.
Is it true that on December 8th, 2020 in Huron Township, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied?
Yeah, I guess so. Canton told me it wasn't suspended though, so I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. My sister's been using my name too, so I have a couple more tickets out there I'm trying to take care of.
Well, ma'am, if you don't think this is you, then the court can't take your plea. That's what
No,
I'm
it's fine.
asking. Are you?
It's fine. Just go
It's
ahead. I don't.
fine.
Yeah, I'm
No.
trying to get everything taken care of.
So you're pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty.
Yeah.
Satisfied, Mr. Foley?
People are satisfied, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Rodriguez, I accept your plea in this matter to driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied. The court will assess a $300 fine. There's a $75 crime victims fee, $50 state cost, $20 fund fee, for a total of $445. Are you able to pay that amount within?
No,
30 days?
I'm not even back to work yet. I'm a waitress. I have 5 kids. Oh,
Okay.
I mean, if I can get on a payment plan, maybe. I don't know
You
if
can
that's
get,
possible.
you can get on a payment plan. Guilty plea in this matter and the other 2 matters will be dismissed per the agreement, per the plea offer of the people. Are you able to establish any kind of payment plan, or do you need to contact our collections department?
I can establish a payment plan.
What can you pay each month, and when can you make your first payment?
$50 today.
Are you gonna pay it online, bring it to the court, or mail it in?
Bring it to the court.
$50 today and then $50 each month on the 11th?
Okay.
Okay, the collections department will establish that payment plan. If you come here, have your ticket or something with the case number on it, the officers will assist you in making that payment, okay?
Okay. So what case number was that one?
20 HR 12887A.
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Foley?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Rodriguez?
No, thank you.
We're all set. Have a good day, ma'am.
Thank you. You too.
And the matter of Dearborn Steel, have the parties reached a resolution? Or are they ready to proceed on the formal hearing?
Your Honor, I did make an offer and then I've got kicked out of the waiting room before I heard the answer. So it's up to the gentleman.
And I have spoken to Officer Price, and we would like just 2 more minutes with Mr. Foley in the breakout room, please.
Mary Ann will return you to the breakout room.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sir,
Hey,
walking
Rob.
around outside with the, I'm sorry, Mr. Batar, are you ready with Ms. Williams?
Judge, if I could just ask Mr. Young if he would consider a under advisement plea until that plan is done. She has some issues that would help her with if you were willing to do a plea under advisement.
Under advisement for 6 months contingent upon presenting a plan that's approved by the township. And she can
Okay.
submit that to me.
We're good then, Judge. We're ready.
Recalling 20SU00447A and B. Your appearances, please.
Robert Young on behalf of Sumter Township.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Miss Williams, Your Honor.
Sandra Williams.
As to the arraignment, Your Honor, we'll waive a form reading. Stand mute, please.
Thank you. And as to the agreement between the parties,
Judge, she's going to enter a guilty plea to harboring a dangerous dog that will be under advisement for a period of 6 months. That is contingent on her providing a plan to make sure that her dogs do not get out any longer.
and she's to submit the plan within what period of time?
Mr. Young, do you have any input as to when that plan should be submitted?
I would think 30 days is short, is enough time. I mean, I'm not looking
Is that-
for a survey or anything. I just have some idea as to what the status is, maybe some pictures. I don't know what the nature, the reason the dogs were out, but identify what that reason was and what steps have been taken to correct that. That'll
Do you
go into the file, and if it happens again, then we're going to charge on a higher charge that we have in the township under a new ordinance.
Understood. Do you understand that, Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Okay, we're ready then, Judge.
Thanks, boss. Come on.
So just so we're clear, Ms. Young will be tendering a plea of guilty to harboring a dangerous animal. The matter will be taken under advisement for a period of 6 months. Within 30 days, Ms. Williams will submit a plan to the township of how she intends to contain the dogs. So long as there's no further issues with the dogs, the matter will be dismissed within, at 6 months.
Correct, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And Ms. Williams, it's your desire this morning to accept that plea?
Yes.
Do you understand the plea is accepted, that you won't have a trial in this matter, that you won't have the opportunity?
Yes, I do.
to present, evidence on your own behalf?
Yes.
Is it true that on October 22nd, 2020, you harbored a dangerous animal?
Yes.
And that would have been in Sumter Township?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Batar?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Young?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Was there any conversation about any restitution that might be due to the township in this matter?
Not really, Your Honor. I don't think that's a problem. Thank you, though.
As to fines or costs?
No comment by the township, Your Honor.
Ms. Williams, I'm gonna assess you a fine of $100. There's a $75 crime victims fund fee, $50 state cost, $20 fund fee for a total of $245. Are you able to pay that within the next 7 days, or do you need more time to pay?
Fines costs were,
$245.
yes, I need time.
How much time do you need, ma'am?
Probably 30 days.
Intended to pay within 30 days.
Thank
Anything
you.
else, Mr. Young?
Oh, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Batar?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
We're all set. Have a good day, Ms. Williams.
Yeah. Hello?
Your name, sir, on the phone in the store?
Robert Wilson. I'm sorry, Your Honor, I don't know how to do this Zoom stuff.
No,
so-
Mr. Wilson, you're fine.
Okay,
Give me one moment.
okay, thank you.
There is 20HR 05372 AMV.
Okay,
This matter was scheduled for arraignment pretrial this morning. Sir, it's alleged that on June 18, 2020, in Huron Township, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked or denied. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail plus fines and court costs. There's also the civil infraction of speeding on that same day, also in Huron Township. There is an offer from the people that if you plead guilty to driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied, or license suspended, that they will dismiss the speeding ticket.
okay, Your Honor.
Would you like to avail yourself of that offer, sir?
Yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
You understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you won't have a trial of any kind. You won't have the opportunity to call any witnesses on your own behalf or question witnesses put forth by the people.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Is it true that on June 18, 2020, in Huron Township, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied?
Yes, ma'am.
The court will accept your plea in this matter. Mr. Foley, anything you'd like to add in this matter?
No, we are satisfied, Your Honor. We'd just like to indicate that Mr. Wilson does have 28 denied and revoked, and he's not been licensed since 1996.
Mr. Wilson,
I tried-
you're not driving right now while we're talking.
No,
are you?
no, ma'am, I'm not. No, ma'am, I'm not. I'm in the store with one of my coworkers. He's driving. I tried. Your Honor, I went to courts and got a restricted license, but the Secretary of State, they went in and appealed it without notification of me, and you know, it's just been a trend, and you know, it's been heck all these years, and I spent so much money to get a restricted back, and the Secretary of State keeps denying me for some reason, which that's the only thing I really have bad on my criminal record, or my record, is driving with no license. I mean, I'm trying to get my restricted back, and they just ain't doing nothing. The Secretary of State, they keep denying me, thinking I'm a killer or something. I don't know.
Well, Mr. Wilson, the court has accepted your plea in this matter. We're going to assess fines of $300, so $75 crime victims fee, $50 state cost, $20 fund, $445. Are you able to pay that within 30 days, or do you need a payment plan?
I need a payment plan, Your Honor. I just got back to work with the company I'm with. They, because of this Corona stuff, they just brought us all back to work. So, like, this is my first week back in.
Okay. Sir, I'm going to have you contact our collections department for a payment plan.
Is there a certain number, ma'am?
Marianne, is the number that's on the notice, will that get him where he needs to be?
Yes.
So in the upper right-hand corner of the notice that you had to call into court this morning, there's a phone number. You call that number and you'll be directed to our collections department.
And I sure do appreciate it.
Thank you for your patience this morning,
No,
Mr. Wilson.
thank you for being easy on me. And you
Have a
have
good day,
yourself,
sir.
you have yourself a blessed day yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you, hon.
Bye-bye. Mr. Foley, are you ready to proceed with Dearborn Steel?
Your Honor, we did have a opportunity to meet with the respondent. The respondent has agreed to plead responsible to overweight. The fines and costs will be $2,000, Your Honor.
Payable when?
30 days, Your Honor.
Mr. Richter, you heard the comments made by Mr. Foley,
I did.
and it's your intention to plead responsible and pay $2,000, I'm sorry, within 30 days?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, Mr. Richter, your first name?
Jan spelled Jan, like Jane.
Anything else, Mr. Foley?
I would just thank Officer Price and he can go about his business. Thank you, Vinnie.
Yeah.
Thank you, Officer
Thank you.
Price.
Thank
Yes,
you.
have a good day.
We're all set,
care.
$2,000 within 30 days.
Yes, yes, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, bye-bye.
Why are you trying to run away?
Is that it for me, Judge? Is there anyone else left?
I'm really gonna let you leave this time, Mr. Bitar. Thank you for your patience and for jumping back on with Ms. Williams.
My pleasure working for you today, Judge. Everyone have a good day. I'll see you next time.
Take care.
Judge Officer Grant has been here for Ontario.
I know. I see him. Would you bring him in? I
I
don't
will.
see.
Yep.
I think we're all set. She knows how to get a hold of you?
Yeah.
You sure? Okay.
And there's nothing in the queue, so. These are all new shows. Thank you. You did a great job today.
Thank you. This is 208011435 Huron Township versus Ontario Inc. This matter was scheduled for a formal hearing at 11:15. It's 12:14 by the court's clock. I don't see, who is this? Who is Dan Fritz?
Pardon me, Your Honor?
I'm sorry, there's somebody in our waiting room. I was trying to see who this is.
Mr. Fritz is another formal hearing, Your Honor. I believe it's a speed or an impeding.
Yes.
I don't see anyone here from Ontario Inc. Mr. Foley, have you had any contact from Ontario Inc.?
We have not, Your Honor.
How do you wish to proceed this afternoon?
We would like to take a default, Your Honor.
Defendant having failed to appear by 12:15 PM. Default in this matter shall enter. As to the overweight, total due $9,200.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Officer Grant.
Thank you.
Judge,
Okay,
thank
not
you.
exciting, but-
I'm gonna leave you guys. Thank you very much. Kevin, everybody else, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Young. Have a good day.
Have a
Yeah,
good
Rob,
day.
be good.
All right.
This is 20HR08737. Huron Township versus Daniel Fritz. Thank you for your patience this morning, Mr. Fritz.
Yeah, no problem.
This matter was scheduled for formal hearing on an impeding traffic. Do the parties need an opportunity to speak? Or are you ready to proceed?
I'm ready. Would you like me to start?
No, the people go first. The issuing
Sorry.
goes first.
Your Honor, first, before we call Sergeant Smith, we would move to amend the ticket from impeding to limited access speed 6 to 10 miles per hour, which was the original violation.
I'm sorry, did you say 6 to 10?
6 to 10 with a 1 point, Your Honor.
Thank you. Your response, Mr. Fritz?
Innocent.
No, sir. The prosecutor for Huron Township has made a motion to amend the charge from impeding traffic to limited access speed 6 to 10 over.
Okay, what are my options? I guess I can't disagree with it, right? That's his choice.
Correct, thank you. Your motion is granted, Mr. Foley.
Yeah, Your Honor, based on that motion and granting it, would Mr. Fritz like to take the opportunity to chat very briefly in a breakout room, or would he just like to proceed?
No, I think we need to proceed.
Please raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you'll give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Your first witness, Mr. Foley.
Thank you. Sergeant Smith, could you give your name to the court, please?
Yes, sir. Ma'am Sergeant, my first name's Thomas, my last name's Smith. Been employed at Huron Township here since August of 2015.
And sir, as to speed detection, do you have any training or education as to speed detection?
Yes, sir. I've been radar and LiDAR certified by Officer Yono. I held that certification. It's on file at the court and with records here at the PD.
And Sergeant, were you on duty on September 1st, 2020 at approximately 3:29 p.m.?
Yes, sir.
And sir, were you in a fully marked police vehicle?
Yes, sir.
And sir, about that time, did you have occasion to conduct a traffic stop that eventually led you to issuing a traffic ticket?
Yes, sir.
And sir, what drew your attention to defendant's car on that date and time?
Well, I observed the defendant's vehicle traveling at a higher rate of speed than the flow of traffic. I confirmed this visual with my LiDAR device. As I noted on the citation at the top there, that was a detection device. I confirmed that speed at 1,146 feet. The reading on the LiDAR was 80 in a 70-mile-an-hour zone. That's what drew my attention to the vehicle. Initiated traffic stop.
The defendant was driving a gray 2018 Hyundai Sonata?
Yes, sir.
How long were you able to observe defendant's car before using LiDAR?
About 4 or 5 seconds.
Did you perform any tests prior to using or after using the laser device that day?
Yeah, the new LiDAR devices, when you turn them on, they self-calibrate when you turn them on. And then at the end of your shift, when they shut down, they recalibrate.
And was that device working properly on that day?
Yes, sir. I had already been on duty for several hours at that point. I started at 11 o'clock that morning.
Okay, and when you viewed the speeding vehicle and made the stop, were you in the township of Huron?
Yes, sir.
Can you identify the defendant or the respondent in court today?
Yes, sir.
And can you point him out or indicate his name under his with his picture?
That's Mr. Dan Fritz, a gentleman with a gray goatee.
As a result of the stop, did you issue defendant a citation?
Yes, sir, I did.
And what was that citation?
I wrote him in lieu of the speed violation. I don't have his driving record here in front of me, but I believe based on his driving record, I issued a impeding traffic violation, which is no point violation, in lieu of writing the speed of 80 and 70. I noted that 80 and 70 and the feet on the laser on the bottom of the citation.
Okay, so in lieu of writing the speeding ticket, you tried to give him a break. Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there anything about this ticket that gives you cause for concern or makes you question this ticket?
No, sir.
Your Honor, I have nothing else of Sergeant Smith.
Mr. Fritz, do you have any questions for Sergeant Smith?
Yes. Did you notice the white SUV that was directly in front of me?
So this ticket was issued on 9/1/20. I don't recall every vehicle that was surrounding you. I will say that I can only laser one vehicle at a time. That being said, a laser is a vehicle-specific device. It's not a radar device where I have to select which vehicle is visually traveling faster. The visual observation just draws my attention to the vehicle, and then when I confirm that visual with my laser, I stop there. So if the guy next to you, if you're right here and you're going 82 and this guy's going 79 or 81, I can only hit one of the cars. I have to select which one I'm going to hit. Could there have been somebody speeding next to you? Absolutely.
No,
But the laser device is specific in that when I aim it at your vehicle and I initiate I pull the trigger button on the device, it gives a clear reading.
Okay. To be clear, he wasn't beside me. He was directly in front of me.
I'm just using that as an example.
Okay. Okay. No other.
Would I mistake a white SUV for a gray passenger vehicle? No, sir.
Yeah, I have no questions for Officer Smith.
You have no other
further
questions for Sergeant Smith?
Sergeant Smith, yes.
Okay. Thank
No
you, sir.
reflection.
Thank you. Do you have any other witnesses, Mr. Foley?
We do not, Your Honor.
Mr. Fritz, would you like to testify on your own behalf?
Yes, I would. Let me, from my perspective, what transpired, and I'm going to start from the beginning because it's important. I live in Novi. My wife and my daughter was headed down for a picture shoot in Maumee State Park, which actually I have no idea where that is. My wife has no idea where that is. My daughter's photographer set it up. So before we left the driveway, we turned on Waze, which is an app that provides logistics. So we wanted to make sure, one, we were going to be on time, right? And two, what is the route to get there? Because we had no clue. By the time I got on 275 from M14, there were literally 5 police. Waze also provides police location, among other things. There were 5 between M14 and Officer Smith, Sergeant Smith. So he was actually the 5th one. So when you get within a half mile, it says there is police presence a half mile ahead. And my wife had it on her phone and she told me, she said, there's police half mile ahead. I looked down at my speed. I said, I'm under 75, I'm fine. Waze also has the ability to be able to watch your speed. It's something I use when I taught my daughter how to drive, to monitor her speed without looking over. She confirmed it. So double confirmation that I was below 75. So as we proceeded, a white SUV pulled out in front of me. Right about that same time, he, within 10 seconds, hit the brake hard, took his speed down to 65. And then in another 15 seconds, hit it harder. We were doing 45 because Officer Smith was trying to enter onto the highway, into the left lane. So I thought that was a little ridiculous, first of all, to go that slow, but I think he was trying to let the officer out ahead of him. Officer Smith did not. He chose to come in behind. As we went down the road, we both, the white SUV and I, pulled into the middle lane. Officer Smith followed into the middle lane. When he flipped his lights on, I wasn't even concerned. I pulled over into the right lane thinking he wanted to go for the SUV. He then proceeded to follow me and pulled me over. At that point, I was in shock, disbelief. My wife was also. And when he approached us and told us we were doing 80 miles an hour, I absolutely not. But what are you going to do? So we got issued the citation. We pulled away. My wife said, you need to fight this. And I said, we know how that's going to turn out. But next day when I got home, I did the geometry. And is there a way to share? Because I would like to share a diagram, and I'm not Zoom familiar. Can I share a file? Oh, I see it.
Yeah, wait, you did the geometry?
Yeah, there's, let me show you the geometry between the distance of hitting my car and the SUV. You can calculate, because he provided the distance for the 1,146 feet, which is the laser calculation of distance when it was initiated. So it's easy to do the geometry between striking one car or the other car. You can tell what the angle is of that laser needs to be between hitting one car and the other. And I would like to show that. I actually have it of one-page PowerPoint. Can I share that? Does anybody mind?
Have you shown it to, you haven't shown it to Mr. Foley?
No,
correct?
no. This is our first time.
What's supposed to happen is that you're supposed to share it with the other side first. And then we
Okay.
have some discussion about whether or not to admit it.
Oh, say this is my first time in any kind of court scenario, so this is new to me. But if, I mean, you can just consider it later or whatever. I just want to state it and then move forward. if that's possible.
You're testifying on your behalf, so I'm going to allow you to proceed, sir.
Okay. So it's a very simple calculation, right? We've all had geometry class. And the angle of concern down here is angle B, which would signify the laser, angle of the laser between hitting one car and the other. The 1,146 foot is directly from the ticket and from the laser itself. So you can easily calculate this angle. And what I want to point out is the note that the angle of angle B is 89 degrees. Now, if there's a car traveling directly behind that, that is, let's say 7 car lengths behind, another 112 feet, that angle then becomes 89.089. So 9/100ths of a degree between hitting car A and car B, assuming I'm car B. What that looks like, if you're familiar with the old protractors, this is 1 degree. Can you imagine 9/100ths and being hold steady that to stay within 1/10 of a degree, and I can easily see it hitting the other car. And I can tell you that the SUV in front of me was accelerating away from me. So I had a very strong suspicion on what happened. And I wasn't going to fight this until I was very sure what was the highly likely scenario here. So, I shoot, I'm a hunter. At 200 yards, I can put a scope and I can hit 9 out of 10 times I can hit my target. At 400 yards, I can tell you it is very, very difficult. At 400 yards, at some target moving 70 miles an hour, I think it's very improbable that you can be that specific. Keep in mind, if you go back and look at the angle, it's, my car behind a SUV is going to look like a very small object and will be mostly obscured. There's very little, in my mind, there's very little probability that that laser hit my car. One, I confirmed my speed moments before. My wife confirmed it with a secondary application because, again, that monitors speed also. I knew he was there. It's not like I was going to go whipping by a police officer. He was the 5th one on the road in 25-mile-an-hour stretch. It just makes no sense to me that it was me. And again, if it was me and I did it, I would pay it. It's not a big deal to me. It isn't the money, it's the principle.
Anything else, Mr. Fritz?
No, I just, things that can affect, a 10th or 9/100ths of a degree. I mean, if any caffeine in his body. I mean, I'm a hunter. I do these things and I also target shoot. Any caffeine, any heavy breathing, the engine running. I mean, take your pick on what can make that be off 1/10 of a degree. So that's it. And I guess I rest my case.
Mr. Foley?
I have no questions of Mr. Fritz, Your Honor. And I will indicate that I think I took business math in high school rather than geometry, so I wouldn't have to go through this.
I'm an engineer, so unfortunately, these are pretty basic courses.
Mr. Fritz, I figured you were an engineer, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mr. Fritz, I'm going to have you take this down.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you. No, that's fine. Oh,
How do
no.
I? There you
No,
go.
that's okay. Mr. Foley, any closing?
Your Honor, whether Waze was working or not, I don't know. I've seen Waze, and I've seen it indicate that there's an officer on the corner of Reek and North Line that I can see out my window, and it's not there. I don't know. There's no guarantee with Waze. As to the speed, the officer testified that he put the lighter reticule on Mr. Fritz's car, that he was sure of it, that it was not the white SUV. And in fact, the officer testified that whether there was a white SUV there or not, he has no idea, but he was sure that he put the reticule on Mr. Fritz's car. The lidar was working at the time, it was calibrated, and quite frankly, whether Mr. Fritz thinks he was going that fast or not, quite frankly, the people have shown that he was going that fast and he's responsible for the speeding ticket, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Fritz?
No, but with regard to ways, if it's a false positive, they do happen. But the fact that it was a positive, I think, tells the story. And there was no reason for me to speed. I had plenty of time to get to the site that I was headed to. Again, why would I do it? It makes no sense to me. And I can tell by what the SUV was doing in front of me that it was the likely culprit. And it's a very plausible scenario.
Listened to the testimony of the parties and examined the screen share that Mr. Fritz did. Based on the testimony of the parties, I'm going to find him responsible for limited access speed 6 to 10 over, assess you total fine and cost of $150. Mr. Fritz, you can either go online and pay that amount, you can bring it to the court, or you can mail it into the court.
Understood.
Thank you much. Have a good afternoon.
Yeah.
Mr. Foley, I don't
Sergeant.
believe you have anything else. We have just Capias is here. Thank you for your patience. Is that Uncle Sam?
Hey, Your Honor.
Wait, Mary Ann, you can take us off YouTube.